Hello, welcome to the OSCH podcast with me, Romana Jabeen, as your host. This series is a 4-episode journey through cultures in South Asia. I will focus on the language, food, traditions and fashion of Bangladesh, India and Pakistan in each episode. So stay with us on this short trip, which is full of history and fun facts. Enjoy! So we're on the final episode and I want to make this as colourful as possible. And what better way to talk about colourful things than clothes? I'm a sucker for colourful clothing and different styles, and this is something we as South Asians are known for with our styles, our traditional colourful prints and elegant looks. This episode I'll be focusing on some of the traditional clothing from each country: Bangladesh, India and Pakistan. So when looking into the clothing of Bangladesh, as we know, Bangladesh is a subtropical country with a very short winter, so jumpers and coats are a no-no. Wearing something airy and light is a must. As Bangladesh is seen as a primarily Muslim or conservative country, long skirts and cotton blouses to cover and stay cool are the way to go. A sari for a woman is a universal dress across Bangladesh. It's a long piece of cloth wrapped around the waist and thrown over your shoulder, also worn with a blouse. The top part of a sari can rest around the back, or it can be brought up to cover your head, with leaving your face uncovered. For men in rural areas and some urban areas, men tend to wear a kurta and a lungi. A lungi is a loop of cloth, a very loose skirt, and it hangs from the waist to the ankles. It's all tied around the waist and tucked so it doesn't unravel. But otherwise, men usually wear Western attire. Moving on to Pakistan. Now, in Pakistan, the shalwar kameez is a national dress of Pakistan, and it's worn by men and women in all 5 provinces. Since 1982, all government officials are required to only wear shalwar kameez. Each province of Pakistan has its own style of shalwar kameez: Sindhi, Punjabi, Balochistan, Pashtun and Kashmir. For a woman, the shalwar kameez come in different styles, colours, designs, embroideries, in different types of material: cotton, linen, lawn, velvet and many more. The length, it varies from the length of the sleeves to the length of the shirt and the neckline. The top is essentially a long shirt called a kameez. The trousers are the shalwar. Trousers can be worn as straight cut trousers, partial, patiala trousers, tulip trousers, churidar pajama, cigarette trousers, samosa trousers, or just plain pants. Most men in Pakistan, however, also wear the shalwar kameez and a kurta, sometimes with a waistcoat to look smart. The length extends to the knees and it can be worn with any plain shalwar or trousers or even jeans. Pakistan clothing reflects the culture of Pakistan and all the provinces such as Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Kashmir areas. The clothing culture is influenced by thousands of years of old heritage. The reflection comes and it's based on the climate conditions, lifestyle and regional culture to give each province a distinct identity. Let's talk about India. In India, the national dress is also the sari, draped to show elegance and grace. It's widely known and worn by all ages. Shalwar kameez is also worn in India as it has many different types of religion and ethnic groups, and wearing the shalwar kameez is very comfortable. However, a lehenga is often worn by many Indian women. They're not just for weddings, but often worn casually. It's similar to a skirt, but a little longer. In some areas of India, it's also worn shorter, more flowy and colourful with authentic prints. Sometimes a lehenga can be customized according to a town or a city you live in a certain part of India to represent a certain type of culture. Men often wear shalwar kameez or Western attire. However, clothing across India is different depending on ethnicities, geography, climate and cultural traditions. Historically, men and women's clothing have evolved from garments like gopina, langota, shalwar kameez, lungi, sari, gamcha. Color codes are followed in clothing based on ritual and religion. and hold importance in all three of these countries. I think what I found, there was a lot of similarities in the clothing across all the countries, and you can see the different type of prints and the different type of colors that maybe a certain country has, or a certain city has, or a certain type of style that a certain type of town adapts is so rich in, and it shows heritage, it shows history, just in the way you dress. Like I've mentioned before, clothing has its own identity, is something that's beautiful, and it's something that can be shared universally, as well as food, language, traditions can all be shared universally, especially throughout South Asian countries and communities. A lot of the things that we use on a daily basis are similar throughout each community, and I think that's what makes us South Asian. So with that, I have been Romana on the OSCH podcast. This is the final episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. Thank you very much. Language, traditions, culture and clothing of South Asian communities and countries. Thank you so much for listening.